What's going on, my smell good guys and girls? Your boy Rum 300 back again with another video. Yes, I'm back again, and I got a long-awaited, epic, and most anticipated fragrance review for you guys. I am overwhelmed with excitement. If y'all can see in my face, I've been wanting to review this fragrance for better part of 10 years, maybe 10 years. That's how long I've been wanting this fragrance in my collection and wanted to review it. And if y'all ready for the review from the prestigious house of Krigler, stay tuned. So guys, yes, I am talking about I guess this is like the pinnacle of a private fragrance house, exclusive fragrance house. And I mean that in the best way possible. Sometimes that can sound a little snobbish, but this fragrance house does not, you'll never find it in a department store like Saks, Bergdorf, Barney's, Nordstrom, none of that. I'm not sure if Barney's is still even a department store, but nevertheless, you'll never find it in the department store. You probably will never find it in any bespoke fragrance boutiques either, because they want to keep their house super exclusive. Now, I've known about Krigler for over a decade and been pining to get fragrances in my collection from the house. And so far, I've started that journey last year, and this journey has come to a halt just for this year because I had to save up my money to get this fragrance. Y'all saw the title. The fragrance I'm talking about is Krigler Oud For Highness. Oud For Highness by Krigler. Man, yeah. This fragrance right here has been on my radar, like I said, for a better part of a decade. And I want to show y'all and talk to y'all about this beautiful fragrance. So, real quick, presentation y'all saw in the video already, but I want to show y'all just in depth of how simplistic, timeless, but beautiful it is. You know, so you get this cylinder, gold cylinder, cardboard box. It's hard, it's durable, it's not gonna break. And then peel these little side pieces off. It gives you a little bit more anticipation because I tell y'all saw how they wrapped that thing up. The presentation was beautiful, how it was wrapped up in that nice soft paper. Even the box, the bag it came in. The presentation is beautiful, but look at that. Now, this is the 50 ml bottle. There's a 100 ml bottle offering of this fragrance also, but I just couldn't afford the 100 ml, and I knew I was not going to pass up on it this year because Krigler has a tendency to raise their prices up at least once a year, and if they just feeling like it, maybe twice a year. And I'll give you how this worked. I remember when this fragrance was probably $450, and now I think it's around $700, if I'm not mistaken. At least $650 right now to $700 for the 50 ml bottle. So keep that in mind when you listen to this review. I don't want you guys to say, oh no, that's too expensive. I couldn't do that. I'll never do that. Shh, please stop it. Because if you have a Giorgio fragrance, if you have a Roger Dove fragrance, if you have a fragrance from Fragrance Du Bois, all them fragrances in that collection, they start at $350 to $500 easily. So don't be, biased and start talking out the side of your neck like this too expensive. Because I know most of you got at least 4 to 5 fragrances from either of those houses in your collection. All right, so let's talk about this fragrance and how I came to truly love the scent. I remember the first time I went to Bergdorf in New York. My fragrance journey had just started. I was probably about maybe 2 years in at that point, my fragrance journey. And hanging out at Bergdorf's, and I was like, yo, I want to go around the corner because I heard there's a fragrance boutique called Krigler inside the Plaza Hotel. So in my mind, I'm thinking big, extravagant place where there's going to be a bunch of fragrances everywhere. It's just a small little quaint boutique, pleasant young lady in there. And when I tell you this, I can't remember the name and I'm sorry, but you talking about someone that knows their work, knows their job, they're scared. She had a encyclopedia of knowledge of the fragrances and wouldn't pick up a book, wouldn't pick up a notepad, wouldn't pick up a pamphlet, nothing. She pointed at a fragrance, broke down the notes, the history behind it, everything. I was so impressed with that. And I got a chance to smell all the fragrances. And the number one fragrance that just blew me away was this joint right here. Every fragrance I smelled in there, I smelled probably at that time maybe 15, 20 fragrances. And this one, I kept going back to it. Years passed, I wanted to buy it, and I just couldn't pull the trigger because I just couldn't afford it. Fast forward to Father's Day. I was like, I'm gonna get myself something for Father's Day. I'm gonna get me something. So I went out of my way to save the money to get this thing, and my wife surprised me and said, I'll go half on it with you. What? I said, no, you gotta tell me twice. So she blessed me with some money, and I went and purchased this, and I love it. Now, that's just the backstory of how I got the fragrance, and the journey of getting the fragrance and why it means so much to me. One, because I got it for Father's Day, my wife helped me buy it. Two, I went to New York and had a great experience there, and this is part of that experience of, traveling to New York. If you've ever been there, New York is just like no other place. It's fantastic. So that's the reason why this fragrance is special to me. Now, probably y'all don't even really care about that shit. Y'all like, come on, Rome, talk about the fragrance. We don't really care about your life. All right, the fragrance itself. Let me break down the notes because it's not a lot, very simplistic. That's the theme, very simplistic, but with the juice, you're gonna get something that is elegant, something that is regal, something that is exclusive. So like I said, the fragrance is very simplistic in the notes. So you're gonna get amber, you're gonna get honey, you're gonna get oud, you're gonna get patchouli, you're going to get sandalwood, and you're gonna get saffron. The mixture of this is not a pyramid, right? It doesn't sit like a pyramid or traditional pyramid in the fragrance game. I'll talk about how the fragrance opened, but I want to give you some knowledge of why this fragrance is so unique in the Krigler boutique or the Krigler line. This fragrance was not supposed to be out for us to even have. The unique story behind this fragrance is Albert Krigler's great-granddaughter was given the great task of creating this fragrance for the High King of Jordan back in, I'm assuming 1975. And it was a bespoke fragrance. So this was a personal fragrance that was made for royalty, right? And I'm guessing throughout the years that High King from Jordan decided to give it to the public. I'm not sure how that worked, but the fact that this fragrance was exclusive for royalty gives it that much more of like, wow, I'm wearing something that a king from Jordan was wearing. That's crazy to me. And the oud in this fragrance, they were one of the first, not one of the, they were the first Westerners to use oud in a fragrance. You cannot, it's crazy. This oud comes from Japan, so it's more of on the, how can I say, Japanese oud to me smells clean, smells woody, smells kind of resinous, but does not sit in the category to something like from India that's more animalistic, more on the darker woody side, or can come off a little BO, body odor kind of feeling. This does not come off like that. So like I said, the notes in the fragrance, you're gonna get that kind of opening of amber as soon as you spray this fragrance. Right behind that is gonna be a combination of sweet honey and oud, and it's literally at the same time. The same time the oud and the honey are mixed together and blend superbly, and it's light. It's not heavy. It's not an overdose of just strong amber, oud, and honey. The honey is tamed with a hint of gourmand factor to it, and that opening is just so delicious, so smooth, and like I said before, the oud is light and so wearable. I want to kind of venture into more Asian oud myself, because I don't really know or have not had that much experience with oud from Thailand or Japan, and I really want to get my nose on that stuff. But this is so fantastic in the opening. We get a little bit, maybe towards 2-3 hours into the fragrance, and the earthiness starts to come alive. The oud is still there. Literally, the oud note, or the presence of this Japanese oud, is there through the entire fragrance. It does not die at all. It stays at that level of 100%. You know that this softer version of the oud that we're so accustomed to is there with the woody aspect, but the soft tone of this oud is so unique. I'm just mesmerized by the smell, the aroma. The amber, to me, dissipates somewhat, and the honey takes over that whole kind of aspect of being sweet nuances. The patchouli, the earthiness, is now probably on par with the oud. We got this, and let me be clear. We're not talking about something that's going to be heavy. It's just earthy, soft. That theme is going through the entire fragrance. Soft. It's cozy, if I can, and I don't want to say it like, oh, this is like a teddy bear. No, it's definitely, in my opinion, very masculine, but it's intimate. It's an intimate fragrance. We get a little bit further down. Maybe we're about 6 hours into the fragrance. The patchouli has died down dramatically. Is not very present to me in the dry down or the later part of the fragrance. We're getting a little bit more of a spice, saffron. We're getting a little bit more of the amber coming back slightly, giving it more of a resinous smell. The patchouli, like I said, is still there. The woody tones of the patchouli has amped up a little bit more, making it smoother. And the sandalwood, combined with the oud note, gives it this richness. This is when the fragrance becomes regal. It becomes fit for royalty, and in my opinion, the best part of the fragrance. And I'm telling you guys, this is so unique. A lot of companies have come out with oud for this and oud for that, and I'm not gonna, rain in their parade. They are good fragrances, but compared to this right here, compared to this joint, they can't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Not even close to being as good as this fragrance. This fragrance, I tell you, you could wear this fragrance at any event, and I guarantee you 100% no one's going to have it on, one. And two, you're going to get a barrage of compliments and people asking you what this is. I cannot wear this fragrance out without someone stopping me and asking me what I have on. I already put a decent dent in this, and I've only had it since June. We're in September. No, excuse me, this is the first day of October. So we're in October, had it since June, and I already put that much of a dent in this joint. So let's talk about the times to wear this. I think this is one of those fragrances that I'm going to keep for special occasions. For me, definitely on Father's Day, this is probably going to be my staple that I wear for Father's Day now. Definitely something for a black tie event. Something that if you're going out on a special date or even a wedding, this is absolutely a fantastic male fragrance for a wedding. I know people say, you're going to wear oud on a wedding? Trust me, this is not your typical everyday oud that they make with those synthetic ouds, or they go to those plantations where they only let the eggwood tree grow for 2-3 years and then they cut it down and try to give you some cheap oud. No. This is going to be something that is aged properly. Put like this, they will run out of the fragrance, right? And will not release it until the new batch of the oud has aged properly. And this is why the fragrances jump up in price, because they're waiting for the ingredients that they need to make the fragrance to be available. And they won't release it with a different smelling oud or a different type of oud. They need the oud to age properly. You cannot beat that. That's quality, and that's why I love this fragrance. Definitely this is later fall, closer to the winter time. I haven't worn this fragrance in the winter, so I can't tell you how it will perform, but I've worn it pretty much all of September and into now, where it's just roughly in the 50-degree mark, and it's performing fantastic. We're not going to say this is beast mode, it's going to last 10-20 hours. No, this fragrance is going to last a good 7 to 8 hours on your skin. It's going to give you about 50% of the performance for, I'll say, it's kind of hard, because for me, I've had times where I've worn this fragrance, worn it 3 hours straight, I smell it, and then it's gone, and then I don't smell it for another 2 hours, and then out of nowhere, I get just wafts of it coming back. So it's possible you can go nose blind with this, but whenever you wear it, give it time. It's going to awaken. It might go to sleep, and it might awake again. This fragrance will last solid 7 to 8 hours, no matter what. Longevity is, like I said, it's there. It has its presence. If you want to say projection, the projection on this is probably, I'll say, 2 feet in any direction. That is the thing about this fragrance that I love, is it's so intimate that you need to be in my presence or around me to enjoy it. Now, the trail that it will leave is remarkable. At least lingers in the air for a good 10-15 minutes after you left the room. Least. I'm not even going to say, I'll say 10 to 20 minutes it's going to linger in the air. And people are going to be saying, where is that at? Where is that at? I've come back into a room, left the room, and I'm like, man, that stuff's still in the room. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And it almost confused me. I'm like, damn, somebody else got my shit on. I'm like, how? I'm a little upset right now. Somebody else got my fragrance. I paid almost $700 for this. Nobody better have this in here. Realize it's me. I just left the room and came back. But yeah, man, this is fantastic. once again, guys, get your nose on this fragrance. It is expensive, but you gotta pay for quality sometimes. Sometimes you need to pay the price point, and it keeps that exclusiveness at a minimum. This is going to be a club of people that enjoy the Krigler brand. It's not going to be everybody, and that's something that I'll pay an extra, $100, $200 for. Please, Krigler, don't raise it up any much more than that. Please leave it here, because I'm a regular guy. I'm a regular people. We regular people out here. Everybody ain't rich. I mean, if you're gonna raise it up, just do 50 cent the next time. Don't do I think it was like $10, something like that. They raised the price up. Try 50 cent 2023. 50 cent maybe 2 or 3 times, so we can still afford these things. All right, I'm joking around. Let me stop playing, guys. Once again, this is Oud For Highness by Krigler. The next fragrance I'm gonna get is definitely gonna be established cognac, and then possibly abracadabra. So stay tuned for those reviews, and thanks for watching, guys. If you like this review, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, consider subscribing. Comment down below what Krigler fragrances you guys have, and if you're planning on getting this fragrance. If you want samples, once again, they are expensive, but they're worth trying. Or I would just say go to a Krigler boutique. There's one in New York, there's one in Miami, there's one in California, and I think there's one in Chicago now. So definitely check it out. All right. Oh, don't forget, share this video with your friends, please. All right, until next time, guys. Like I always say, it's okay if you want to smell like Rome. I'll check you guys out in the next video. Until then, peace.